Are you tired of this happening to you? Yes, the dreaded Turn 1 incident. If you feel like you're a victim of just one too many T1 incidents, then this video is for you. Today we have 6 reasons why you might be getting caught up into something like this, and stick around to the end for a 7th bonus tip, and I think it is the most important one. So starting first is probably the most expected one, and it's the overly aggressive driving. For example, here we are with a random Audi from one of the races who just decided to use other people as braking zones. We'll go back and watch it again, and it's pretty blatantly obvious. He sees a gap, there is a gap, but there also is a Ferrari on the outside, and he just decides that slowing down wasn't the option there. Now, it's not 100% that Audi's fault, because there was an Aston Martin that did end up hitting him. But if you look at the onboard of the Aston, he's trying to not get into other people's way, and that Audi from earlier was trying to go around the outside of everyone in turn 1, which is always a risk. Now, this isn't a video about who's at fault, who's at what. This is how to minimize your own mistakes. So the next time you think about going to the outside of something, think about people on the inside that are trying to avoid the same stuff you're trying to avoid. So on the flip side of the overly aggressive driver, we have the person who is not as aggressive. And in this case, there's a Ferrari going on the outside of T1, also at Kota, who absolutely has done nothing wrong. He is not endangering anyone, and yet he still gets tagged. Now, like I said before, this isn't about whose fault it is, but what this Ferrari could have done better is use the outside runoff. Just be aware that there's probably a person coming in from the inside. Just turn the wheel to the right and shoot for the runoff. You're saving yourself from getting spun around like what happened here because someone wanted to just send it up the inside. Reason number 3 is be easy onto the brakes into turn 1. Now, don't get this confused with being too cautious. This is a method to keep yourself safe while also being able to react to other people. What I mean by that is I personally like to give the brakes a couple taps to show the person behind me, hey bro, there's a turn coming up. I'm trying to slow down. But in this clip, I don't do that. But what I am doing is just slowly going onto the brakes, not immediately trying to just dive into the corner, which helps you carry more speed, and that helps save you from behind, but it also slows you down enough that if there is a person coming in, you are able to make corrections to get out the way. So for the last couple reasons, we're just going to talk over a clip from, I think this was my league race from last weekend. We're just going to be talking over this clip because it's more of the mental side of what you have to do. So for tip number 4, expect the unexpected. Most of the time, especially in open lobbies, there's a wide range of skill levels. Expect people to always be out of position. Now, what I mean by out of position is it is pretty easy for someone to just throw in a random qualifying lap, or for the people who are actually fast to just say, screw it, I'll start from the back, especially in open lobbies. So you could have people that are just way too high up the grid for what their actual skill level is. So if you're somehow in the middle of that, always expect that someone is slower than you. Faster, it's one thing. You can deal with faster people by, chances are they're going to run away. But the slower people, they're going to brake earlier, or they're going to brake later because they don't know where to brake. So for the 5th reason, this is to manage your own expectations. So if you know you aren't the fastest, what is the point in trying to send something where you know you can't hold it until the next corner? Like if you qualify P6, okay, and you're at Monza, it's extremely easy to lose, but also gain positions at Monza. That's why it's a death trap. Are you really going to gain in the long term if you try to send a pass up to P2? No, because you'll probably crash, and if you don't crash and you somehow make it through, you're going to get passed regardless. So you got to think about the long term, even if you're just in open lobby, public lobby, whatever you want to call it. If you want to do well and get better at racing, you have to think about every race as an opportunity to get better. And if you're just going to throw it away by trying to send a silly dive, then you're never going to improve. For the 6th reason, while you're waiting on the grid for the race to start, think about what can play out. So if you're P10, you are in the thick of the midfield, there's people all around you. Now you got to think in your own mind, okay, if the guy on the inside decides they want to just send it straight, I'm going to know that, and I'm going to immediately take for the runoff. Or if you just try to get out as far wide as possible to try to avoid it. Now, if you're up higher on the grid, always think about, okay, there could be someone coming flying from the back. I'll keep an eye on my mirrors, but I'll also try to control the pack by slowing down in a not so fast fashion. What I mean from an earlier point is being easy on the brakes, being predictable for what people can do. So you always give yourself that time and that effort to avoid people by always constantly scanning your surroundings, thinking before it happens on how to make your move to avoid whatever someone tries to do. So for the 7th reason, and I think it is the most important one, but, keyword is but, you have to be able to analyze yourself critically and not have any emotions attached to it. And that tip is to record your gameplay. And so whenever you watch yourself drive, watch yourself really do anything, you can learn how to be more efficient, be better, see where you're weak, and learn how to improve by taking those measurements. That's with anything in life. And I think it is a very, very, very helpful thing. So if you record your gameplay, and on ACC especially, I really only play ACC, you can autosave replays, which is fantastic. I have that on, and I have an hour 15 every single race, so I can always analyze what happens for any incident, for any of driving mistakes, for line differences, anything. So if you're able to record your gameplay, and say you get taken out into turn 1, just dude completely misses the brakes or brakes too early and throws you off, which if you brake too early, you're behind him. That's your own fault. You have to be aware to that. You have to expect the unexpected. But you want to be able to look at that footage, analyze it, even if it is so blatantly obvious he screwed up, think about to yourself what you can do better to help avoid that or see it coming, because realistically it comes down to just being able to think that, oh shit, someone is not stopping. I got to be able to take avoiding action. It's not always the case, but there's always a way to improve. So think about and talk to yourself how you can make yourself more aware of your surroundings and more aware of what other people might do. So with that being said, that is the end of my little guide on how to stop dying into turn 1. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, let me know what I can do better. And I'm going to be streaming hopefully consistently every Sunday and Monday. Usually I try to work Mondays, but I haven't had much overtime, so we're going to try to stream every Sunday and Monday from here on out. Especially league races on Sunday. So with that being said, you guys can check out these 2 videos I'll leave linked up. One was my last live stream, which was this race that you are seeing in the background. And the other video is how much setups actually make a difference in ACC, and it is a big difference. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. I would love to get to 100 subs, so don't let me down. Have a good rest of your day.